Hi, my name is Sherry.
And my name's Serena, and we're here today at the New Brighton State Beach Visitor Center. Our theme here is Pacific migrations, and the migration that we'll talk about today is the immigration of some Chinese American fishermen who ended up living here at New Brighton State Beach for a short time. They actually landed here in the 1850s and were here for a short time doing fishing. The image behind me is of the fishing village that they built out of driftwood that was right along the cliffs here at New Brighton. It's actually located where our current restrooms are, so if you want to come see the location where they lived, that's where. But there's really no trace at all. The only way that we know that they were there is from this single image. So the first question I have is, who are they? What qualities tie them together? Where did they come from, and why did they come here? So if you notice in the image, all of them are men. These people also are expert fishermen, and they came here on their ships. They actually are a minority from southern China called the Tanka, or the boat people. And they had been here for a very short time because they sailed over on the Kuroshiro Current on their boats and ended up here at New Brighton State Beach. So the Tanka people are a minority in China, and that means even though I can speak Mandarin Chinese, I would say ni hao, the way they greeted each other probably was completely different. These people, I imagine that they had their own culture, their customs, and absolutely their fishing and their boats were completely distinct from other peoples. So the people here, how do we know that they weren't just regular Chinese people? There was an excellent reporter named Ernest Otto, he was very close with the Chinese community here in Santa Cruz, and he could tell the differences between Cantonese, Mandarin, and other dialects of Chinese. So he noticed that the way they spoke to each other was completely different. And he's one of our best records, aside from the census, which told us that 29 Chinese fishermen were here. The Chinese American people who settled at this beach were using the railroad that passes by New Brighton to sell live fish that they caught here at this beach. So they would cast out their nets, pull in a ton of live fish, and then send them fresh in the railroad cars down to Monterey and to other places where they could be packed and sold elsewhere. This served them very well, since there was a lot of California law at the time that barred people from drying abalone, for example, and doing things that could be sold in China. Basically, there were a lot of restrictive laws to keep them from succeeding. A lot of this pushed by Portuguese and Italian immigrants who were also fishermen and wanted to make as much money as they could. So because of all of this anti-Chinese sentiment and also the laws themselves that eventually restricted their specific type of fishing, these people ended up having to leave, and their driftwood house disintegrated along with any trace of them actually having been here. So the history of these people is a very interesting part of New Brighton State Beach, and we hope you're able to come here to take a look for yourself.